If you haven't had breakfast yet, you've been warned. I have Julio, Urias, and Trevor Bower updates. A former Lakers player has been accused of sexual assault, and a scribe accuses Alex Grinch of being USC's version of Jamarcus Russell. Good morning. I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos Morning Report. So it is October 26, 2023. I'm trying to knock this tape out because I have somebody very close to me in a hospital. I'll be spending the day there. If you like being in the know about LA sports, click the like button. Click the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And comment, because it's always good when you're talking LA sports. So before we go through the news and notes, a look at the scoreboard. Paul George scored 27 points in the season opener, and the Clippers wind up drubbing Portland 123-111. Meanwhile, today, Phoenix is in town to play the Lakers. That's at 7 o'clock. Jared Vanderbilt is out for a second consecutive game to start the year for the Lakers. But let's start off with the Dodgers. Let's get to the news. I do hope you had a nice breakfast. I hope it was a nice, hearty bowl of oatmeal. Because with these updates, that's going to be a lot easier to throw up than, say, bacon bits. You've been warned. Just letting you know. It's time for a Julio Urias update. TMZ is reporting that the woman allegedly assaulted by the former Dodgers pitcher after an LAFC game had a bloody nose and strangulation marks all over her neck. That's something to wake up to. Moreover, Bill Shaken of the LA Times noticed that without mentioning the Dodgers by name, Trevor Bower's agent tweeted how important starting pitching was in the playoffs. I suppose it's fair to say that neither she or her client are above online trolling, but I digress. Shaken used that as the impetus to write a terrific and comprehensive piece on the aftermath of the Cy Young Award-winning pitcher who faced a sexual assault legal peccadillo back in 2021. And so, to briefly recap, the criminal case against Bauer never went to trial. The Dodgers paid him more than $22 million simply so that they could cut him loose, because Major League Baseball had suspended him for a couple of years. Bauer then pitches in Japan. He becomes an all-star there. Bauer's always said that he's innocent, that he did nothing wrong. There were civil suits between him and the accuser that were settled. And then after it was settled, Bauer goes online and he released a series of text messages and video clips that strongly suggested, I might add, that the woman was setting him up for a payday, straight up. Now, I've always said nobody looks good in this situation. Nobody. The woman looks bad because those texts and clips really make a strong case that that chick is a gold digger. Maybe she was. Probably, but I don't know, right? But Bauer looks bad because, dude, you barely knew this girl and you admit having rough sex with her. Right? What are you thinking? You barely know her. Barely. You're fabulously wealthy, totally famous. You meet a rando cute girl with a questionable reputation. You have rough sex. What are you thinking? Now, among the things that Shaken learned, a law professor said the evidence Bauer shared was, quote, fairly damning, unquote, to the accuser's credibility, but it does not exonerate him. Be clear about that. It's not exoneration. Also, that the Dodgers have no information on how Bauer answered any other of his accusers, nor do the Dodgers have any information on what the accusers of these other cases happened, what they claim happened. Bauer's testimony in front of an arbitrator apparently was not recorded. There is a litigation going on out in Phoenix from a different woman who claimed that Bauer sexually assaulted her twice. And I know some pundits, by the way, have suggested that Bauer really needs to sue Major League Baseball. After all, MLB suspended him. An argument could be made that they took an innocent man's career away. Legal experts still say that he would probably lose that case. It's a collective bargaining agreement thing between the players' union and the owners. In other words, this was a system of punishment set up for a situation like this, and everybody allegedly followed it. You put everything that's shaken, uncovered, in a crock pot, and you stir it up, and what do you get? Bauer's going to stay in Japan, probably. Here's why. There would still be a public relations nightmare for any major league team to have if they chose to consider signing Bauer. The team, whatever team it would be, would probably want Bauer to apologize for everything in a press conference to lower the heat. Now, does anybody think Trevor Bauer is going to apologize for anything? I don't. Of course not. Meanwhile, Dodgers outfielder David Peralta underwent flexor tendon surgery to his left forearm on Tuesday. He's a free agent. He's 36. He'll be hitting and throwing in March. That would be if you refer to 259 batting average as hitting. He was a Gold Glove finalist, though. I mentioned how Shaken of the LA Times did a terrific job. Dylan Hernandez of the LA Times, however, wrote a somewhat unfair column on Dodgers controlling owner Mark Walter. First, the writer claimed that when Walter accepted the trophy after winning the 2020 World Series, Walter gave a really cringy speech. Really? Who the hell ever remembers the owner's speech when he gets the trophy? They're all cringy. Every one of them is cringy. Oh, hey, everybody, I'm fabulously wealthy. I fart through silk sheets, but this trophy, this is all for you, the greatest fans in the world. How many times have we heard that in our life? It is always cringe. You can claim that trophy is for me, but I'm not lugging the Stanley Cup around a studio apartment, am I? Let's be real about this. Then Hernandez goes on to claim that Walter has to challenge Dodgers president Andrew Friedman for not changing his philosophy on building a roster. And it sounds good. It sounds like you would love for him to do it. Mark Walter is the CEO of an international financial conglomerate worth more than $350 billion. The Dodgers are worth $5 billion of that. 1.4% of the Guggenheim portfolio. So you expect him to put 98.6% of his other holdings aside, fly to Los Angeles, kick down the door, and demand Mookie Betts lay the sacrifice bunt. Does that even remotely make sense to anybody? By the way, Mark Walter also owns Chelsea in the Premier League. Maybe, just maybe, he's too busy flying to Stamford Bridge to show Thiago Silva how to take a corner kick. I don't know. But I'm here to tell you, if you're going to have somebody hold Andrew Friedman, that guy, Mark Walter, is the last one to be accountable. He has $350 billion in companies all over the world. He's pretty locked down, guys. Pretty locked down. And by the way, that's the thing with owners. You don't want them too involved. Ask the Cowboys how happy they are with Jerry Jones meddling in every single player transaction. The Dodgers had an owner that was too involved. Does anybody remember Frank McCourt? So no, Mr. Hernandez, you might be a little wrong here. If you want anybody to hold Andrew Friedman accountable, the Dodgers already have a CEO. It's Stan Kasten. That's the guy that you need to be talking about. Guy has $350 billion. He's flying all the way around the world, and you want him to stop what he's doing so he could ask Andrew Friedman about the lineup card. What is your... Former Lakers center Dwight Howard has been sued for sexual assault and battery by a dude over an encounter in July 2021. Now, to be clear, there's no criminal case against Dwight Howard. who's 37, won a ring with the Lakers, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. Howard is claiming the alleged victim also tried to extort money from him, threatening to expose his personal life and all that. I don't know how to answer that, other than to say Dwight Howard's personal life was never really a big secret. Hell, Howard said that having sex with the dude was consensual in court findings. So how are you going to hold it? How are you going to threaten this guy, right? Breaking news. Dwight Howard likes dudes. Oh, that would be shocking news if it were 1972. Come on, guys. Having somebody be in a same-sex relationship doesn't exactly qualify as life-shattering anymore. Let's be real about this. USC football coach Lincoln Riley returned to practice, but he has yet to achieve homeostasis, i.e. being healthy. Matter of fact, he has pneumonia, so that's uncomfortable. I kind of enjoy breathing. But there is something else simmering. We have been talking for quite a while about defensive coordinator Alex Grinch. Because if losing is a blemish, then Alex Grinch is like a full outbreak of warts. I was tempted to say herpes, but eventually USC will no longer have Grinch outbreaks, right? But whenever Grinch does get his walking papers, it needs to be done with honesty, with logic. And I bring that up because there's a dude out there named Matt Zemek of Trojans Wire who incorrectly claimed that Grinch is admitting that he doesn't watch game tape. Basically, it is a very clunky story. The Trojans, they lose to Utah last week, right? And we mentioned how the Trojans were repeatedly beaten on wheel routes. The first time Utah ran the wheel route, it was the third play of the game. It resulted in a 53-yard touchdown. Now, Alex Grinch was quoted after the game as saying, quote, third play of the game, you're trying to be aggressive. There's no justification for doing it other than a play that hasn't shown up on video, unquote. And then the interwebs showed clip after clip after clip of the Utes running the wheel route. So Zemek, therefore, concluded that since there was so much tape of Utah running the wheel route, clearly Grinch does not watch game tape. Like he is the Jamarcus Russell of defensive coordinators, too busy downing the purple drank instead of Xing and O'ing. Now, for those of you who don't know the reference, there's an infamous story of the former Raiders draft bust. The Raiders coaches hand him a tape to study. Russell said, yeah, I studied it all night. And the coaches are like, dude, we gave you a blank tape on purpose. We're just trying to prove to Al Davis that you're not trying. There is a perfectly reasonable explanation as to why Alex Grinch said he did not see the wheel route on game tape. He's lying. Straight and simple. You might find this hard to believe, Mr. Zemek, but coaches and athletes lie to sports writers all the time. I know. I was a sports writer. I got lied to a lot. It is your job to try to find out the truth. The truth might not be that Alex Grinch doesn't watch game tape. The truth might be that Alex Grinch is either lying or incompetent. If there's one thing I would say, I do not believe for a moment that he's skipping out on watching game film. And by the way, if you were wondering what the reference to the purple drank was, that was something, an addition that Jamarcus Russell did. The purple drank is mixing cold syrup with a soft drink so you can get a cheap high, which is something that you should consider doing when you watch USC play defense. According to reports, the Clippers are stepping back from their pursuit of the Sixers' James Harden. This is according to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski, to which I say, so the bleep what? We already knew. Behold, we no longer have to laugh at workaholic Sean McVay probably missing the birth of his first child to coach a Rams game. His son, Jordan, and wife, Veronica, are now doing well. Jordan came out of the Play-Doh Fun Factory of Life on Tuesday. The coach said he hasn't had a chance to sleep, but it's good adrenaline. Trust me, Coach, before the NFL playoffs roll around, that good adrenaline is going to feel like a spoonful of fentanyl dragged across the bathroom floor of a Burger King. I mean, guys, we all like Sean McVay, right? We all love Sean McVay. But doesn't he sound just like every other first-time parent that you meet at the water cooler at work, right? Oh my God, childbirth is such a miracle. I don't mind at all. It's kind of cute not getting enough sleep. And then 2 months later, the guy is wondering if his wife birthed his kid. Trying to get that DNA test. There is some confusion as to which two players will make up the Kings' third defensive pairing. There were as many as 4 players in the running for those final 2 spots. The Hockey News believes that the coaching staff chose Andreas England and Jordan Spence. Tobias Bjornfoot and Brant Clark are supposedly the odd men out, but there is a problem for the Kings. England and Spence simply haven't played any time together as a unit, as a pairing. In other words, the coaches think England and Spence are the 5th and 6th best defensemen on the roster. But they've been getting time on the ice with other teammates. For example, Spence quarterbacks a power play unit. They've only played as a couple for 20 minutes over the course of 5 games. So there's a weak link with LA right now that hopefully will get resolved over time. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Talk to me about either Julio Urias or Trevor Bower. Tell me about Alex Grinch possibly not watching game tape. And if you enjoyed the conversation, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day here. Thanks for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Quien Corte El Queso production. Take care.